Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to week one of Inside the PFL. I am your host, Drac, and we're missing the titular co-host, Mike. So, as a replacement, Mike appointed Leibo.
Hi, everyone. It's me, former champ Leibo here. I got to get over my stage fright, but this should go well.
Oh, no pressure. You'll just... I'll put you on the spot multiple times, then you'll just get used to it, and you won't be nervous anymore. How about that?
Oh, excellent. Yeah, exposure therapy.
Exactly. See, you're doing well already. Anyway, we had some pretty hot week one battles. So let's get right into it.
They were smoky. They were sexy.
So first up, we have LCD against Rob. I shall give this a play. I was actually pretty nervous for LCD at a certain point in this match, which we'll get to. Because Rob obviously has a terrifying team of like Metagross and Mega Altaria, combined with the absolutely disgusting tanks of P2 and Quagsire.
But at the same time, LCD's team is practically an OU squad.
Yeah.
The Miss Draco turn 2 is so unfortunate.
Yeah, speaking of OU squad, Slowbro, Torn, Laddie. Ugh.
Yeah, Cart, Nidoqueen, come on.
Yeah, so Altaria obviously a huge problem, and I honestly thought that this was just going to be the game right here, especially after this crit, because if it had just packed Flamethrower for Cart, it was over, right?
Yeah. But
he scares him out.
Scared him out. He thought it was Scarf.
Yeah, I mean, good on LCD for playing correctly, but oof, I would have been so scared in LCD's position. Because I mean,
LCD made the play he needed to do, and it worked.
Yeah, exactly, and that's kind of the psychological game of Pokemon. If you can just bluff something, you can get your opponent completely off kilter, and they're kind of unsure of their game plan, or unsure of what your team is, or they make some wrong assumption and they play wrong around that. P2 with Regenerator, disgusting.
Yeah, Trace is such a fun... We'll see in a couple matches, Trace just doing the shit. Trace is such a good ability.
Yeah, because P2 needed Regenerator,
right? P2 needs Regenerator, guys. Come on, Game Freak.
But yeah, LCD, since he kind of navigated that Altaria situation, I think it was actually Scarf Kartana, was it? Because I think we saw it change moves. I think we saw it change moves. Okay, no, it hit knockoff twice, so maybe it was Scarf.
It did get a nice, Torn did get a nice knock on P2 though. Very important.
Yeah,
you need that EV light off on P2. It's not gonna go down otherwise.
Right, or unless you're like set up to +6 or something.
You gotta be
killing P2.
It's real tough.
Yeah, and Torn obviously incredibly bulky and fast. What a good mon. Tracing Regenerator.
And P2 has Regenerator again.
I mean, we've said all that, but LCD is kind of behind right now, and that para on Hitmonchan could be an issue.
Yeah. And even Drain Punch isn't... He played against the P2 staying in, but Altaria can become a problem very quick again.
Right. When you're prepping for a team like with Kartana, I would be so tempted to like just run Flamethrower even with the minus special attack nature, because like it's Kartana. Kartana's gonna roll over and die to a fire move.
I've seen some funny calcs against Kartana. It's great. Just like Magmar with negative special investment still does it.
Yeah, that does not surprise me at all. Oof, Nidoqueen is such a good breaker. Because it's just so big, you can kind of just run like Modest Life Orb if you need a breaker, and it still eat 1 or 2 hits pretty easily and do stuff like demolish Quagsire.
I still think I prefer Nidoqueen, but Nidoqueen really does get the job done, and it is just as threatening. It gets all the same moves. It still gets Sheer Force Life Orb. It doesn't matter if it's 10 weaker, it's still going to get the job done.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's what you need in a mon. Like, Nidoqueen doesn't have the best speed tier, but its natural bulk will just like let it eat stuff.
Yeah, and then return kill.
But I mean, this is kind of becoming all she wrote at this point.
It's hard to get over Torn.
Yeah, Torn is just so fast and has that really strong stab move in Hurricane. Not that Metagross super cares about it, but just one more move will do it. I wonder if that was like a choice band or something.
I wonder if that bullet punch at the end was a roll too. 5%.
Yeah, it definitely could have been.
I still think it could have been. I think it was closer than. It could have been a lot closer, just because Cart still has knock. I don't think.
Yeah.
Cart's going down in 1.
What was Kartana at? Kartana was at 64. Yeah, it's not going down to any like stab, Zen Headbutt or Bullet Punch.
Yeah.
Although Metagross does get Fire Punch, right?
Oh shit.
Hmm?
I actually don't know.
But Kartana's faster, so. Ooh. But does Metagross eat that knock?
What's Hitmonchan at?
Hitmonchan was pretty full, yeah.
Oh, but Zen Headbutt, Para. That could have been close. That could have been a roll.
Yeah.
But it was still a great game on both sides. No one really made any blunders.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that I would have done differently. I mean, I probably would have packed Flamethrower on Altaria, but then again, like, it's really big 4-move syndrome with Mega Altaria, right? Because you want the V-Dance, or you want, like, Cotton Guard Roost, or something to facilitate a special set, and then like stab, and then what's your 4th move, like Earthquake or Flamethrower? It's kind of tough to decide.
Yeah. At the same time, Cart also outspeeds Altaria, so if it's running Scarf, which it could have been in that one turn, you might not even get the Flamethrower off.
Yeah, we didn't even see Cart switch moves, so. That's
true. It could have just been banned. I mean, it could have been Scarfed too.
Yeah, it could have been Scarfed. I know we were talking with LCD in like Discord chat about his match, but I don't remember his sets.
Yeah.
Anyway, good win by him. Definitely played around that scary Mega Altaria correctly.
Yeah, and got through his tough walls of Quag and P2.
So let's move on to the next match. It is Hunter against Tristan.
Oh yes, my division.
So this was an interesting game. Oh man, I was expecting a pursuit from Staraptor and Hoopa to just go down turn 1, but that's not what happened.
Dirty. See, that U-turn would have killed Hoopa Unbound, but because this is the other one.
Yeah, Ghost resist bug.
Mega Houndoom with a plot up. Horrifying.
Yeah, but I mean, Hippowdon's no slouch. Doesn't it have like 100 plus some HP?
Yeah, Hippo's a thick boy, and Houndoom does not. Oh, yeah, does that.
Yeah, unfortunately with the sand chip, he's going down.
But that's good chip on Hippo, and that could be
But something we're gonna see pretty immediately is that Hunter kind of has no answer for Virizion. It's pretty much just Staraptor.
Yeah.
Staraptor can't just switch into stuff forever, especially now.
At 30.
Yeah, and it's
there
gone.
It goes. And Verizon's only a 60-point Pokemon, but if it gets the right matchup, it can do things.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A great speed tier.
And I think Virizion is actually just an excellent counter to Urshifu, because you resist its stab, you're big enough that it's not really gonna care, right?
That's
you
true.
Can always
That's
just
true. And you can take the U-turn too.
Yeah, exactly. You're pretty much always in a situation where Virizion can just eat a hit and Oko back with Leaf Storm.
Everyone in the divisions need to be able to prepare for Urshifu, to new threat in the midst.
Oh yeah, absolutely worth 200 points Urshifu is. No, absolutely no debate in that. But hey, if you know the matchup is coming up, you can build around it. So some random low tier might just catch you off guard. We'll see that in some other matches. Just an aside, Leibo, I'm getting a little bit of feedback from my mic in use, so if you could headphones or something.
I'm wearing headphones.
Oh, Well, I don't know then. I'll just
Are you
deal
still
with
getting
it. No, not as much.
I think it's when I move. I'm trying to stop moving.
Oh, maybe. Okay, yeah, Verizian claims another one. So that's 2 now that Verizian claimed. See, we don't actually have King of the Kill data this week because Mike is dragging his feet.
With almost started King of the Kill. We'll see that later.
Yeah, well, there was another mon that also got 4 kills, but also no spoilers. Come on, just let it happen. Comfey. Obviously, I love Comfey.
Comfey's fantastic.
Ooh, I don't know about a Calm Mind setup when you're facing like Mega Scizor.
Yeah,
stuff with priority.
It's tough. Yeah, especially with no HP anymore. If we had HP Fire, I'd say okay.
Mm-hmm.
But we no longer have such a thing.
Right, because you could run like Babiri Berry and just expect to return kill with Hidden Power. But without Hidden Power, that sort of that does nerf Comfey because Hidden Power is
kind of
always
just let it in every turn.
Yeah, like every match.
15 at +1, you're doing 15.
Yeah,
it's nothing.
Oof.
It's nothing. Caesar is laughing.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it just didn't go easier Shifu and potentially pick off something, but maybe Hunter was just kind of.
He may have just wanted to get it in clean at this point.
Yeah, potentially. Now, do we get an item reveal on this Urshifu? Not yet. But again, easy Verizian. And honestly, you probably could have also gone all creamy here. Oh yeah, or Scarfu, but that'll definitely do it. Probably 2 hits Regidrago. Yeah. Koopa's got like 150 special attack.
Koopa is actually huge. I was really considering Koopa. It is huge. And yeah, the one downside of Regidrago is that it can get through steals, but it really struggles with any fairy of any sort. Mm-hmm. This is what it's doing to Alchemy. Fire Fang.
Does it get Heavy Slam or something?
I don't... Well...
Oh, rip.
I guess I need to look that up. I don't think it did. I don't think it gets a steel move.
Yeah, I think Regidrago's whole thing is that big, strong dragon move, and then not much else.
It's great, but you gotta eliminate the fairies.
Yes.
And even something as low tier as Alchemy, which is now a tier 5 in our league, can still get in the way.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you don't have some strong, super effective move, like, fairies are just, in general, very bulky mons.
Yeah. A good game by Tristan.
Yeah, good game. Verzion picked off 3, I think. It was Staraptor, Urshifu, Mudsteel, pretty sure. Then
that sounds right.
Scizor took care of Comfey, Alcremie took care of Regidrago, and Hippo did Houndoom.
Alcremie getting the kills. Cupcake.
Hey, Verzion got 3 though.
Did Lycan even come out?
No, Lycanroc did not even hit the field.
Wow.
I wonder if that was just like an extra contingency for... Oh, you know, it was probably for like a Scarf Staraptor.
Yeah, Staraptor and Houndoom.
Yeah, for sure. Man, Lycanroc Dusk is so good. Tough Claws Excel Rock, yeah.
Tough Claws Excel Rock, it's a good one. The only good rock move.
Yeah, that game seemed very planned by Tristan. Like everything kind of went for into his game plan perfectly. It really seemed like. Even at the end when he sacked Alcremie just to get Verizion in clean.
It makes sense. And you throw up +3.
Yeah. That's something that I kind of don't like to do. I don't like to try to save plus to win. If I can calculate out like a line to victory, I'm just gonna take it. Mm-hmm. Not gonna f around with trying to like, oh, but if I do this and he does this, I can get 1 extra plus. That's too much risk for me. Anyway, Next game, and it's Manny against Kyle. I'm playing this on normal speed because this game is real slow. For the first 30 or so turns,
watched this one.
Yeah, for the first 30 or so turns, it's just like U-turn, pivot, and
yeah, this is the one where nothing dies for like 50 turns, right?
Yeah, and a Nature's Madness miss immediately. Gotta love it.
Nature's Madness miss immediately. Moltres, the supposed 60-point Mon.
Yeah, drafted by one of the commissions.
We'll see how he performs in this match.
I will admit that I was looking at Moltres round 4, but Manny sniped me.
Yeah. As was I. But... and
Another
the Sacred
miss.
Fire miss, classic.
Eye for an eye. But I will say, in the very beginning of this match, it really looks like the Manny show. Manny looks like he's in complete control. Because we see he just keeps hitting pivot with Coco, Moltres, Zarude, even flip turn on Swampert.
There's 4 Mons that have potential pivot on Manny's side.
3 of which are incredibly bulky in Swampert, Zarude, Moltres.
Yeah.
And that kind of... He just kind of wears Kyle down for a while. But as we'll see, it's not always that simple. Stonage missed. Gotta love it. Not that it would have done much to Swampert.
Moltres just going through the cycles until eventually. I love the Misty Fire on Moltres. It's a great move for like a bulky pivot, I think, because now whatever comes in needs to deal with it. Also, rest on Lantern. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, because it really does get worn down.
Yeah, Lantern's big thing is that for a bulky water, it has no recovery, because you have things like Gastrodon or who's the guy we just saw in Rob's match? Quagsire with Recover, or a random water absorber gives it a lot of longevity. But Lantern, Lantern does get water absorb and Volt Absorb. But
yeah, I guess that's sure. If we're counting that as recovery,
yeah, I mean, why not? It's 25% of your HP.
It can count.
Yeah. Man, his flip turn again. Shocker.
Shocker. Finally, Raichu's in. But, the crit on Lantern.
Oh, you can't rest in electric terrain. No.
Yeah. It's easy to forget that. I would too. But it's one of those things.
Yeah, I mean, everybody in our league is, since the advent of Tapu Lele, has pretty much figured out, like, okay, be very careful about hitting priority moves in psychic terrain.
Also, I do love that, and now we see priority move in psychic terrain. I do love that he brought Persian. I feel like we never see Persian.
Yeah, I think Persian's kind of slept on because it's got 115 speed, right?
Yeah.
So with U-turn and fake out, you can build up some chip pretty easily.
It's real fast and real cheap for us. And I've seen Sulk Scarf. That's like a set, I think. Fake out Sulk Scarf.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see that, especially since it gets return with Natex AG. I mean, stab 100 base power move? Oh yeah, I dig it.
The Misty Fire isn't coming into play that much, but I still love it. It is wearing down Swampert, though. That burn does help.
Yeah,
and another flip turn.
I like Mystical Fire in combination with the pivot just because you saw it hit Mystical Fire on Lantern. Even though it did barely anything, it's still at -1 special attacks, so the next thing that comes in will eat that Scald or Volt Switch a lot easier.
It still helps. And even the burned Earthquake doing 32 to Roserade. Not bad.
Roserade's not known for its physical defense, I'll say that. Especially
I wonder if that Swampert has any investment at all, or forceful bulk.
Looking at Manny's team, is probably mostly bulky.
So just U-turn the game.
Pretty much.
I can't blame him because it's working out, but
yeah, no, Manny looks like he's firmly in control at this point.
And flame body proc.
Yeah, that's actually pretty big because now those foul plays will hurt a lot less. Even like a knockoff on Raichu would probably do quite a bit. God, burned
And that
U-turn.
U-turn would have killed Zarude otherwise.
And it would have been close. U-turn, U-turn. We're really watching OU.
It's just so much pivot. Hey, Manny's still in control of this game. He's winning, but goddamn, it's a lot of pivot. Finally, something dies in Rising Voltage.
Yeah. I mean, Raichu picked up both those kills, so...
Also, double. I don't even think I noticed until like the matches actually happened. But double terrain. He brought both.
Yeah, double terrain's pretty effective because I believe Mike was talking about this on the not the team breakdown, the very first stream where they were revealing all the picks. Double terrain basically lets you set it every single time you swap because like you swap from Coco to Lele and now you have Psychic Terrain up for a full turn, so you don't need to really worry about that situation where you accidentally reset your own terrain.
Mm-hmm.
Or you don't reset your own terrain and like it ticks down. Turn 54! Oh, there's still 9 mons alive. Oh,
And another flame body proc. This Moltra doesn't even have boots right now. It's doing fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, where are the hazards?
On the other side.
The hazards were T-spikes on Rose Raid.
Yeah.
So yeah, Manny is up a mon right now. However, he's up 2 mons. Moltres is low. Yeah, 19%. Swampert's low. Zarude's low.
Yeah.
So that's a problem.
I remember this part.
Oh,
this part upset me so much. It upset me so much.
I think this was the critical mistake.
This was the critical mistake. He's just sacking Mons instead of killing Entei.
I know. Like, what was his fourth move? What was his fourth move on Coco?
And look at this.
Anything other than U-turn.
It lives.
Oh, okay. Nature's Madness.
Did he not have T-Bolt?
I guess not.
Did he not have Grass Knot?
Crit. Oh, that crit. I think that crit definitely mattered because I don't think Raichu's dying otherwise.
It mattered more that he didn't kill Entei with whatever move before, and he let Swampert die.
I think that may... I don't know what Manny was thinking in the moment, but to me that seems like one of those things where, Roost was his fourth move. That's actually all he had. Oh man.
It's Roost. U-turn is the only thing he could have done, but it didn't kill.
No. Oof. You hate to see it. Pretty passive Coco set. I wonder what Protect on there was for. Oh, you know what? It was for Trick Room. It was for Trick Room.
Okay.
Yeah,
the crit probably mattered, but having a banded extreme speed just kill 4 of your mons can't feel great.
No, not at all. But yeah, they picked up 4 kills from that.
Yeah. Oh wow. If Lele was alive, that wouldn't have even worked.
Right, but he kind of just like let Lele die to Persian. I think Manny probably thought that it was already in the bag.
Yeah,
without
which
really
is understandable.
But just how low all his other mons were outside of Raichu Coco.
Even I underestimate how often extreme speed can be. It's still a high base power move, and if that Entei was banded, I don't think we know. But if it was banded, it's going to do damage. I mean, hey, Dragonite runs extreme speed a lot. There was only 1 left. He almost protects all about.
Yeah, a single extreme speed left. You can't actually see it on my recording window, but
okay.
We did not ever see Entei switch moves, so yeah, I think it was banded.
It did take rocks damage too, so that would make sense.
I mean, hey, Kyle played to his win con and it worked out, so
he did great. Manny still had a great game, and then that end game was just hurt. I don't know what he could have done, but it was a great game between them.
I think, it's tough to say. It's tough to
not
say
get
what he should have
crit,
done.
I guess, or get lucky with the U-turn roll.
Yeah. I mean, the crit on Raichu was absolutely devastating. It probably still would have died to the follow-up fake out from Persian.
Probably.
Who knows? Congratulations to Kyle. So
good game. It was a good game.
Next up, M1 and Nijia.
Ooh.
This was another good game.
This was a good game.
So, I think Nijia played the early game a little bit loose. Not to say that M1 didn't play good. M1 played great. He played to the win cons, and it was still a close game despite some stuff. But we already saw the burn orb get knocked off melodic. That's kind of devastating.
Now, it's not the worst thing. You can still switch into a toxic or something.
Right.
Or maybe eat a Scald, although not really from this team.
Yeah, because the only thing that would have Scald is Starmie. But I think Starmie runs Surf more often.
Yeah, generally. Or Pump.
Yeah,
this was a big thing.
I don't know what Nijia's plan was with Mamo here.
Yeah. Just because a body press also would have done a ton of damage to it.
Right. Let alone the double stab with high base power moves. Because I think, wouldn't Gyro Ball get up to 150 because Ferrothorn is so damn slow?
Yeah. Gyro Ball does a shitload. Power Whip does a shitload. Body Press does a shitload. I don't know if Banded Mamo can... Banded Mamo hits hard. I don't know if that was banded. But I think it needs to hit that superpower if you're trying to eliminate it. It's...
Yeah.
It's otherwise it will eliminate you. It's one of those matchups that's just tough.
Mm-hmm. And Ferrothorn's physical attack is no slouch. I think it's like 110 or something.
It's at least 100, I think. Yeah. I love Vileplume.
Vileplume is, I don't want to say underrated because it gets drafted quite a bit.
It gets drafted every season, but it's so good.
Anybody with strength sap's good. Period.
Yeah. Victini, just getting in Victini so often, and with wish support, it's incredible.
Mm-hmm. At this point in the match, I was like, okay, M1's doing good, but I got the sort of creeping feeling that Victini might just start picking off Mons because every time Ferrothorn comes in, it's basically free Victini.
Yeah, and even if you get leeched, all right, it's on a timer, but it's still gonna hit a move.
Right.
It's still something's gonna get hit. And that's huge damage on Ninetales.
Yeah, I mean, the crit kind of sucked. Crit and para in the same turn sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wish
Spit of floor just is hilarious.
Yeah. Special attack drop.
Yeah, so it's doing even less.
5%.
I do love the Ninetales played because you need something to switch into those V creates.
Yeah, and also if he predicted right and Victini did switch in, that Scorching Sands would have still hurt.
For sure.
So it was the right move on M1's part.
Ooh, yeah, that was a fine double. But again, we're gonna see another crit.
Jesus Christ.
That crit absolutely mattered.
Whenever Victini hits V create, it's just a wince. Sorry, Jesus.
Yeah, it really is. I like this offensive Aerodactyl that we have going on though.
Yeah.
Like being able to nuke gigantic, bulky waters, which M1 I don't want to say didn't have an answer for, but his answers were running thin.
Yeah, it was Ferrothorn. Maybe Starmie had T-Bolt.
Yeah, it was pretty much just Ferrothorn, but we saw the situation where every time Ferro hits the field, it's just Victini comes in to claim one.
And it living this close combat, Aerodactyl's kind of tiny. I was surprised.
Yeah, I talked with someone after the match, and I was like, "Did you calc that?" He was like, "Yeah, it was bulky Aerodactyl. I had that plan." So
bulky Z-move Aerodactyl.
Dude, it put in the work.
It put in the work. It got rid of Milotic.
Got rid of Milotic, got rid of Lopunny.
And now at this point it's 5-3. Starmie gets recover.
Yeah, but there's still the big lingering issue of, well, Victini can just come in on a wish very easily a lot of the time, and what are you going to do about it?
Yeah, as long as Victini is alive, it's not over. Because it's still pretty big, and a Bolt Strike will take out Starmie.
Yeah, Azumarill doesn't want a Bolt Strike. I mean, I know Azumarill's bulky, but it's already chipped, and it's definitely not eaten 2. And I'm not super confident that the huge power Aqua Jet at +0 would kill. Alright, so you got this whole song and dance going.
Leech Seed, Protect. Hey, I love Leech Seed and Protect. It's just, ooh, nice power whip.
Yeah, and I do like what M1's doing here, where he's trying to figure out like when Nijia is gonna switch and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
Because one of the things he's doing is he's holding on to gyro ball and he's sort of playing like he doesn't have it.
mm-hmm.
So I am a fan of that.
This was a nice play. I really like to dig the flash fire.
Yeah, no, I dig not hitting protect, waiting for what Victini was going to do, and just hard switching so you can get a little bit of momentum. I like that a lot. And I think the play is coming up soon where M1 makes the call to finally hit gyro ball. Oh, heel bell. That makes Floor just quite a bit more annoying.
Yeah. But hey, the power whip connected, but it was invalidated.
Right.
Floor can be big. It just needs to go against right opponents.
Yeah, but
and then the gyro ball hits and wipes it off the field.
That was the turn M1 was waiting for, where he knew Floor just was going to hit Wish, and he could finally pop out the gyro.
Oh.
Ow. Ow. Yeah, I like the sack of fair thrown there because it really does nothing, and you get something in clean to.
Yeah, and you don't need it for Vile Plume. You have other answers for it.
Right. Oh yeah, something else someone told me after the game. He didn't pack Psychic on Starmie.
Oh no.
Oh no, he did. Wait, no, he did have Psych Shock. He was missing Hydro Pump. That's what it was. He didn't. Have
okay. So it was just a bluff against Victini.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, with the minus speed, Starmie was for sure faster anyway.
I guess Aerodactyl's faster too.
Yeah.
Probably is EQ.
Yeah, this Aerodactyl didn't have EQ because we see him hit Rock Slide against Victini.
Oh, so it's Z Rock Slide.
Yeah, Z Rock Slide. Yeah, I like that decision. You don't want to necessarily risk it all on a Stone Edge.
Yeah, agreed. Now the Aqua Jet can easily clean up.
Right.
I wonder if this is Belly Drum or if it was
I didn't ask if it was like Belly Drum or Band.
It's probably it's probably, who knows.
I mean, Azumarill can definitely go either.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, well played. Like minus 4.87 if I remember correctly on the RNG calculator.
Mm-hmm. I think Nijia did great, especially considering like he lost Mammo turn 2.
Yeah, turn like 3 or 4.
He held on really well, losing a critical Mon that probably would have helped a lot with some of these at least.
Turn 5. Yeah.
Honestly, it wouldn't have even done that well against some of these.
Yeah, I mean, Mammo doesn't want to be in against the Azumarill, doesn't want to be in against Ninetales. We saw what happened with Mammo and Pharaoh. So yeah, I mean, you could have played like a bit tighter and maybe held on to like an Ice Shard or something for Arrow, but
he fought well considering.
Yeah.
He didn't. Yeah.
Did not let up the pressure, and we saw just how devastating Victini can be. But M1
I'm
played
sure
around
we'll
great.
see that in the coming games as well.
Mm-hmm. So congratulations to M1. Next up, it's my match.
Hey.
I'm gonna hit play. This one's gonna go fast. So I knew like Durant and Omastar were big problems for Dave, and my kind of strat for the match was to just kind of fuck around and like teleport until I could get Omastar in against Pidgeot, because Pidgeot can't really touch Omastar, so it's always going to be a free Shell Smash. And then
this one turn scared me.
I was
that stalled.
No fear.
I was terrified of that burn. It's 30%, but it always happens when you don't want it to. And then the Z bug, incredible.
It only happens when you're scared. That's the key.
Yeah, that's true. No fear.
And honestly,
there was a thorn.
Honestly, on that turn, I probably could have just hard into Omastar, but I played it a little bit safer.
I think that's fair. But with Suicune gone, that's a great thing for you. A lot of your team would have been annoyed by it. Yeah, like Suicune. Well, so I knew like first impression plus the Z move on Durant combo could kill Suicune, so that was pretty good. That was a big confidence booster. It should be mentioned that Showdown was going through some difficulties during this time.
Yeah, Dave was telling me that his showdown was like bugging out. Like it wasn't updating my mon, but the stuff on the side was still working for him. So, although
but luckily he went with it.
Yeah,
and he was fine with it.
And all that being said, I didn't really see any big mistakes from Dave, so I don't think it impacted the match too much.
Yeah, I agree. He seemed to suggest it was only like that turn, and I don't think anything too drastic would have
because
changed.
I mean, when he had like Durant against Zero Aura, he had no switch-ins for Durant, so I don't think there's really much he could have done.
The weak armor Omastar with Meteor Beam, the stat boost, I just love it.
Yep.
The
Instantly +4 speed, +3 special attack. It's the Omastar show, baby.
It's nutty. I love when tier 5s rise up. And the weak armor with Shell, the weak armor with Shell Smash,
it's so good.
Crazy.
Another mon that can do that is Poltegeist, but Poltegeist is quite a bit tinier, so you can't. It's not as good.
I believe Jack would also like us to mention Slugma, or no, it's Evolution.
Magcargo.
Magcargo, yes.
Yeah, Magcargo also gets weak armor in Shell Smash, doesn't it? But I think Magcargo's stats are garbage, aren't they?
Don't tell Jack that.
I won't. But yeah, 14 turns, almost hit Shell Smash, and just wiped everything up.
It was a clean game.
Yeah, I think on the only thing to call attention to was the Sableye turn, where he didn't go first with Prankster, and I'm pretty sure he like either hit knockoff or Poltergeist there when he saw that I was at -2 defense, and he was like, okay, my only shot to win is to kill, because like Willow's not going to do it, Calm Mind's not going to do it. I think that.
How did he let Zera die again? Wasn't that
it was first impression from Durant.
Oh yeah,
and then he brought in Pidgeot clean, because I ran some calcs. Pidgeot doesn't want too many first impressions, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I guess he couldn't bring in Heatran either because of a stomping tantrum.
Right. And like, you know, G-Rapidash, it's neutral, doesn't want that.
Yeah, it would have been Sableye as the best, but that was the option.
So yeah.
Good game, Drac. You played well. You got an Omastar at the critical turn. You got off that Shell Smash, and
Thank you.
Clean swept 4 mons.
Yep. I mean, Mensa and Salazzle didn't even hit the field.
Yeah, that's real solid. Look at him waving those tentacles around. He's so happy.
Look at him.
Those beady eyes.
That weird quadruple beaked mouth.
God, what is that?
I don't even know what he's supposed to be. He's some kind of mollusk, of course.
He's like an ammonite, or a nautilus. It's both.
Anyway, moving on. So the last match that happened off stream, Bick and Murphy. This was a really good game.
I enjoyed watching it.
I know Murphy has been very upset at the prospect of being in me and Bick's division. Yeah.
He did not want that. Switching in top into, oh no, that was a double. Never mind.
Yeah,
I haven't rewatched this one since.
Right, yeah. So obviously, Polytoad wants nothing to do with Glalie with that freeze dry.
Yeah, that's gonna hit hard. Refrigerate. Does Refrigerate boost already ice moves?
No, it only boosts the move it transforms into ice. So like return, explosion, those kind of moves.
Putting Azelf on a timer was nice because it doesn't look like he has that much for Azelf. Maybe a knock here or there, or but that would be it.
Yeah, it could.
Good.
It's already at 62, so like it can't switch into much. Like it probably doesn't eat a Grassy Glide.
However, he did not have a lot for Glalie.
No, not really. Pretty much only Mawile is his Glalie switching.
Although that Hitmontop took freeze dry like a boss.
Yeah, AV top is really good because you slap Intimidate on it and you eat both physical and special hits. It's great. Hitmontop's a great mon. Man, Misprit kind of ate that triple axle.
It did, but now it's on 14%. He's getting rid of the S-Elf as we speak, but also Cinderace is... Oh, I think Murphy mentioned that he forgot Cinderace got Zen Headbutt. So that was the thing there.
Well, also Cinderace is another 4-move syndrome kind of mon.
Yeah, you never know what it's going to have. It's usually a sucker and turn, but you can never guarantee
the U-turn, you want the sucker, you want the Pyro Ball. Ugh, what's left?
Yeah. And honestly, Politoed did take that freeze dry pretty decently.
Yeah, doesn't Politoed have like 110 Spit F?
I don't know, actually. But it's pretty decent, but it can't sit in here forever. And it's just wasting rain turns as it sits. But now the Hitmontop's gone because of that Zen Headbutt, what can take it?
Right, you just kind of have to bring in hard Mawile. But even then,
and I think we see that this gets another move for it. And he predicted that perfectly, too.
He really did. He knew Murphy was going to blink.
Big read Murphy's mind. It was good timing.
Oh, he just hard-outed, huh? I'm surprised because that first Earthquake, he would have lived the second one when he Mega Evolved.
I guess maybe he felt scared that it wouldn't have gotten bulky enough. I probably would have felt the same way.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, it would have lived, but it would have been close.
Right. Ooh, that minus Spit F drop's huge.
Yeah.
Okay, but as Elf is gone, it's far from over.
It's far from over, but there's still Cinderace and Ziggs and Glalie, which has very few answers. Because it also has speed just about everything out here. Except
Noivern's the only thing that's faster.
It does get that damage, though. That was real nice.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
So with Earthquake,
I think here, this was a tough... Oh, it was Scarf Nidoking.
Yeah, Scarf Nidoking. The problem with Scarf Nidoking is that it lets this happen.
Yeah.
Vic is always really good about crafting teams that it's hard to bring a Scarf against.
Why didn't he send in Boom there, I wonder?
That's a good question. I think he just expected like an Outrage or something.
Or maybe he was going for the intent. I'm not sure, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Murphy's down 2 Mons, and his only real sustain is this grassy terrain, but it also helps Bick out as well.
Yeah, because everything on his side is grounded.
Although this is a good position for Murphy, at least. If he can keep getting in Nidoking easy like this, nothing eats these Earth Powers.
No, and it can still take, a hit here and there.
Yeah, the least of which is Golem.
It does suck that both Cinder and Ziggs have moves against it.
Yeah, not to mention Scarf Cinderace, which Murphy immediately recognizes when he comes in like that. Nice,
and then you can glide it, presumably, but also you can't glide against Drapion. Drapion's highest stat is actually its defense.
Yeah, that's true.
I really like Drapion.
Drapion's a decent mon. It doesn't hit all that hard, but you invest in some bulk and you get those like stab knockoff, stab poison jabs. It can do some work. And it's got 95 speed.
Yeah, I'd say the only real mistake Murphy made here was just forgetting that Cinderace had Zen Headbutt.
Yeah, that really could have shaped the match. If, he predicts it and then he brings in Mawile, that could have been some trouble because at that point in the match, nothing really was going to want that play rough.
Yeah. Also, maybe slight under prepping for Glalie, just because only one thing could kind of take it.
Yeah, that's definitely something. Like maybe in the rematch, he'll obviously have some time to prep for Glalie, but maybe a different AV, maybe another bulky mon that can actually sit against Glalie.
Yeah, Glalie's a good mon. Hey, Ice Move and Earthquake is like solid coverage.
Right, because now you're actually threatening steals.
Yeah, and it gets hazards, and it gets a couple moves.
Yeah, it doesn't get too many moves, but it hits damn hard.
Weird ice face thing.
It's weird because you look at Glalie and you look at its stats and you're like, this mon shouldn't be that good.
It's such an odd design. It's such an odd design. Well, I don't think we ever have Glalie get drafted.
Dylan, I think, drafted it last season. Maybe 2 seasons ago.
I hope. I like when the non-megas get drafted.
Regular Glalie. Okay, never mind. I was
regular Glalie.
Okay. No, I do not believe regular Glalie. Regular Glalie absolutely deserves to be at tier 5.
Yes, he does.
That mon sucks.
Yes, he does.
Regular Glalie sucks.
Yeah, I thought it was a good match. It just really was like kind of under prepping for a mon or two, just like. And Cinderace is admittedly possible to kind of prep for.
Oh yeah, Cinderace is always going to be a problem. But yeah.
Big played well.
Yep, that'll do it for this match. Next up, the title card match. Let's hit play.
Oh, this is a lovely one.
So, man, James's 800 point squad with Fable, Kyurem,
the 800 club,
Megavinu, Zapdos.
So immediately, okay, Mike says that he thought physical Kyurem was coming. I haven't seen physical Kyurem in a long time, but I love that it did live that ice beam.
Yeah, I like that. I did like that it lived the Z ice beam.
It barely lived, but it lived.
Yeah, I think after that happened, Mike kind of crumbled because I don't know what his plan for Zapdos was really. I think his plan was just have Manectric kind of whittle it down. Okay, that
I don't really see how he solves Megavinu either besides Zapdos.
Yeah, it's pretty much
you can
Zapdos.
Maybe break it with Volcanion too, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah, but then again, Zapdos is such a good answer for G-Zapdos.
It is.
You resist both stabs, and you're threatening static every time.
Exactly. It's a Megavinu and Zapdos is really nice.
It's absolutely disgusting. And yeah,
and it kind of does counter Mike's squad super well. Brave Bird almost got it, but the Rocky Helmet too.
Yeah, like
look how much static chips.
Yeah, now Venusaur's faster, of course.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mega Venusaur is actually quite fast, and I think it is forgotten that it has like 120 special attack.
Yeah, 80 speed.
It's huge.
Yeah, and this I'm pretty sure is where Mike has thrown in the towel, because I think the obvious play would be like Guzzlord, right? Because Venu gets Earth Power. Don't forget, we've got Volcanion and Manectric.
Killing Zapdos was important, but you in the process you lost your only answer for Mega Venu, because frankly Volcanion can't do it.
And Fion, our guy. Fion, our guy.
Look how much Fion took from the steam eruption.
That's actually a lot, considering it resists.
That is a resisted hit.
And he even got the steam eruption burn.
Yeah. It has 30%.
Yeah, Venu gives absolutely no shits about that knockoff.
Yeah, Venu can just sit in for the rest of the game. Heavy Slam did actually a good amount there, considering. I mean, Venu's pretty big.
Yeah, Venu is heavy, but isn't Guzzlord like 2,000 pounds or something? I think he's actually heavier than Stakataka.
Oh lord.
Oh yeah, okay. Does not eat a fairy hit. Shocker.
No, it does not.
You actually wanted Guzzlord. Bet you're...
Yeah, it might have actually killed Venusaur. But it's tough at this point. Something's got to go. There's just so much power on James's end at this point.
Yeah, and that these Calm Minds are... Oh, okay, that's a good para.
Ooh. But if he got parried there, it would have been different.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it would have saved in plus.
Oh, the crit.
I mean, at +1, I'm not sure if it mattered, because I'm pretty sure it's Life Orb Clefable.
Oh, that's true. If it got parried there, maybe like a single parry, double parry, maybe that Clef would have died. But yeah, it still would have been tough to get through anything else.
It would have just saved Mike a plus, but at the same time, big ol' +5 for James, surrendering in the face of Fion. Let's get a look at that guy.
Look at that smile.
That stupid little water droplet.
Fion is a bottom tier, and it is cousins with Manaphy. What a beast.
Dude, Manaphy is so good, though.
He made Manaphy work great. And, I mean, hey, if this is any forecast of what's to come, I want to see Fion every match. I want to see his team of 800 and Fion every match.
I'm sad we didn't get to see regular Gallade do anything.
Yeah.
I think regular Gallade is kind of underrated just because he's got that good scarf tier and strong stab moves and excellent coverage.
Does it get justified too?
Yeah, regular Gallade's the one that's justified. Mega Gallade gets inner focus where it can't flinch.
And immune to intimidate.
That's why Mega Gallade is a great knockoff switch-in, because you get the +1 from justified. It doesn't knock off an item, and then you Mega and you're at +1 for free.
Oh, that's nice. The same case with Mega Absol as well, I believe. That also gets justified.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Well, the Absol does.
Mega Absol does. Yeah. Then obviously gets Magic Bounce when it Megas. But that does it for the matches that were not on stream and the bonus match. Kind of doing the... I will admit, I'm doing this a little bit to spite Mike. I'm making Fion the thumbnail because Mike has not given us the King of the Kill data when we're recording on Friday night. Tisk, tisk.
Tisk, tisk. I want to see Omastar up there.
Let's look at the results of this week. Let's look at the standings. Yeah. So, in the Fortress division, I am at 1-0 +4, leading the division. Bick, hot on my tail, 1-0 +2. In the Magnezone division, you're leading it with a big old +6 week one. Look at you.
Revenge of the Sigalith. Let's go.
Revenge of the Sigalith. +3 on top of Tristan. Close race in Metagross with Kyle and M1 at +3 and +2 respectively. Another close race in the Skarmory division, LCD and Dylan with their +3 and +2. And in the Steelix division, some big winners this week. James with a big +5, Sheej with a big +4. Those are our 1 and 0s as of week 1. What are your thoughts, Leibo? How do you think this is going to shape out? How do you think this is going to shape the rest of the season?
I mean, it's the first week. A lot can change. I got a +6 now. I'm happy that it's a good lead. I don't think it's going to stay that way at all. I think a lot of stuff can happen. It's next week. It's a big week.
Well then, a little bit of a preview next week. Let's look at the trades and pickups. We only have got one. Manny has dropped Lyron, Tapu Lele, and somebody for Mega Aggron, Machamp, and Lapras.
Oh,
give me a second. Who else did Manny pick up? I am doing some research real quick because I remember he had Lyron. I remember he dropped Lele.
I've always called it Lyron. But I've said many Pokemon names wrong in my time, so.
To be honest, it's probably Lyron, like as a pun on iron. Like the
he dropped Graplocked, Lyron, and Lele for Aggron, Machamp, and Lapras.
I think those are fantastic pickups. He got rid of Lele, which makes sense because it was a redundant Fairy and Psychic type, which he already had expensive Fairy and Psychic types in Coco and Laddie.
I love Machamp as a fighting type. It's an amazing breaker with Flame Orb or is its other thing Iron Fist? What's its other ability?
I know it gets no guard because you can run that hilarious special Machamp set with like Specs Focus Blast. I think it is. Yeah, you're right. It is that. Machamp is an amazing breaker, and I would like to see Specs Machamp run. Lapras is great.
he happened to be in the Dracovish division, or did you just grab it?
He is not in the
think he is.
Dracovish division.
Lapras is still a good one, regardless. It's a,
for
it's a
sure.
fairly bulky water. Gets heal bell, freeze dry.
Yep. I'm looking at the schedule, and Manny is not even fighting Dracovish. I like how we saw him pick up a water absorb freeze dry, and he's like, oh, Dracovish.
But hey, listen, that's I always get Dracovish if I think there's even a chance. I always get a counter from him if I think there's even a chance. But Lapras is a good mon regardless. And it gives you heal bell too, which is nice.
And just naturally bulky.
Yeah, it gets in the way.
He has an actual steel type now that can set rocks, so he'll have an easier time getting hazards out. Yeah, I think this is just a straight up improvement over his previous team. I'm a fan. So then, since we do not have King of the Kill data, we're not going to be talking about King of the Kill. We are going straight into the Commish Picks. So, let me go to the right scene. First up, we have got Kyle and Nijia. Oh, I should say, Leibo will be picking from Mike this week. So try to sabotage him as much as possible. Take him down a peg.
I'll see. We'll see what I do. I'll pick who I think is going to win, but also I might, pick my favorites.
All right, so Kyle against Nijia. First thing to notice is that we talked about this in the team breakdown, me and Mike. Nijia, you kind of know like which 4 mons are coming each week, right? You know, like Victini's coming, you know Melodic's coming, Megalopunny very likely to be coming. But it's the wild cards. It's the wild cards you got to watch out for in Nijia's team.
However, Kyle is a lot of wild cards with half a Trick Room team, Zoroark. It can get fancy there. It can get messy. It's harder to predict there.
Very much contrasting teams.
You got the prediction of big boys who you can kind of predict, hard hitters, Victini, Lop, Nano, or some interesting stuff. Trick Room could maybe throw a wrench into the pile.
Yeah, although I am seeing, I think Nijia's got a really good squad against Trick Room. You've got that like fake out on Lopunny. I don't think Cat is touching a lot on Nijia's squad, I'm gonna be honest. Really just Vileplume. I guess Lopunny as well, but with the stall with fake out, I don't think Trick Room is gonna be the bring this week. That being said, I think I like Nijia's squad a bit more, so I'm going to pick Nijia.
I'm going to go Nijia as well, simply because I like the squad. However, I fully admit that Kyle can absolutely do some shit here.
Oh, of course. That is not an indictment on Kyle at all.
I'm half choosing because I like Nijia's team more, but also half choosing because if Kyle wins, then Mike will be wrong. It's kind of both. I still think Kyle is a potent team.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he pulls out because Mega Lopunny seems like an incredibly huge problem for him.
But you also got Corviknight. Can Lop do Corviknight down?
Yeah, I mean, it does get all the elemental punches, so it's going to come down to whether or not he can chip Corv enough to get it in like a 2-tap range for Lopunny. So yeah, both picking Nijia. It'll be a fun match regardless.
Oh, I'll happily watch it. I'm excited.
Next up, we got Manny against M1. All right, so I think M1's going to have some big trouble with Tapu Koko.
I mean, he got Ferrothorn.
Yeah, but I mean, you just...
And Ampharos?
Yeah, you do, but you kind of just Volt Switch every time, I feel like.
Oh, and also, I mean, Koko gets Dazzling Gleam, and Ampharos does not like that.
Yeah, not to mention it can just slam in Nature's Madness. We saw Mirac on Nature's Madness last week, and I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you Nature's Madness on Ferrothorn switching in, that's not a fun time.
Yeah, Koko's still a problem, even with Conda and Pharaoh and Ampharos. It's still gonna hurt. And there's a couple things going around. I mean,
Magic Bounce is obviously great.
I hate to choose the same team as you. But also, Manny made some new picks, and he probably made those picks looking forward, thinking that they help him out. He probably had that in mind. I'm gonna go with Manny.
Yeah, I'm torn because I should just pick my boy M1. He did me good last week. I'm gonna pick M1. You can pick Manny.
That's fair. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I read.
It'll be interesting to see what M1 comes up with. Obviously, Sableye is going to be pretty good against like your Laddies and your Alolan Raichus, so I don't think M1's really that liable to be swept by terrain, especially with like Sableye getting Sucker Punch.
You know, it is kind of tough for. Oh, I guess there's Laddie. Earthworm kind of does well besides like Laddie.
Yeah, like Laddie and Moltres are the things that are going to force Pharaoh out every time.
Yeah, but this will be a good match.
Yeah, it really ought to be a good match. Those are our picks. Next up, it's myself and Bick. I'm obviously picking myself.
Let's see.
But I mean, Bick's no slouch. I'm gonna have to
Bick is
prep
no slouch. Zig 50 versus Mence, the Aroma, the Serp, the Cinderace. I remember from Salamence against Cinderace. But he also got the Glalie. I'm gonna go. You know what? I think Bick is gonna pull some shit out of the hat. Some wild shit. Let's go with Bick.
All right. You choosing Bick. Bick it is. I mean, I've briefly looked at the team. I don't have like a 6 set in stone. I've got 11 mons I want to bring, and I gotta figure out how to cut 5 of them. So that's always the struggle.
Yeah.
Next
choosing the 6 is always hard. Sometimes you get a handful, and then you don't even know what to do for the last couple.
But anyway, next up, the other match in my division, Dave against Murphy.
Let me see. I'm only looking at these matchups now. We're going off the first impressions.
So something I noticed when prepping for Dave is that he doesn't deal with priority very well.
He also doesn't deal with Nidoking very well.
Right. Like, Nidoking's obviously a problem. Like, he could honestly just bring Scarf Nidoking again. I would not be surprised in the least. That being said, being locked against Dave's team is not fun because you lock yourself into Sludge Wave with Tangrowth, then Heatran comes in for free, and all of a sudden, like, okay, rocks are out, something has taken a Magma Storm and is trapped, he's Protect and he's getting extra chip, and that happens a couple times. Murphy's looking in a lot of trouble.
Being choice locked is scary. You gotta pick wisely. You can't. And yeah, I mean, let's say it's you against Heatran, you hit EQ, no Tangrowth comes in. Tangrowth doesn't care.
Yep.
I mean, the ground move, not EQ.
Yeah, Earth Power EQ. The idea was there.
The idea was there.
It's tough though.
Yeah, I gotta go with Murphy.
Man, I'm really not sure. I think I'm gonna go with Murphy as well. I think Murphy's got a couple more comfort picks than Dave's. I know Dave loves his fast mons, like Mega Pidgeot, Zeraora. But I think
Dave
Murphy
has some great walls, and Pidgeot and Zera. But I don't know. There's good stuff on Murphy's squad.
To be quite honest, I'm looking at Murphy's team, and all of these mons scream Murphy's comfort picks. Like Hitmontop, Nidoking, Spiritomb.
Yep. Nidoking.
I'm gonna go Murphy as well. Ooh. I was not focused on the window. Hey, get out of here, Formula. Next up, Mike against Jack. Oh, I know Mike is just absolutely dreading this match. That being said, he has a really good squad to deal with the Sand Core. I mean,
hey, Bulu.
Yeah.
Now EQs are less good.
Right.
Skarmory. Sand's biggest problem is Steel Flyers, like Corv or Skarm.
Mm-hmm.
Between Bulu and Skarm, it's going to be real hard to run Sand.
Yeah. at the very least, Excadrill can Ironhead Bulu, but maybe Bulu just runs Berry and kills you, and brings your sand out.
you can definitely still bring Drill, but
yeah,
sand is harder to.
Not to mention
leading into the sand team may not be the way.
Yeah, not to
otherwise
mention
Manectric will outspeed you.
Not to mention that like Drud with like a bulky Drud can just switch into that high horsepower Ironhead. That's not a good time. Like obviously he's got multiple immunities with like Weezing. Honestly, Levitate Weezing kind of hardwalls Excadrill, doesn't it?
It gets Flamethrower and Will-O-Wisp too.
Yeah.
Unless that Drill happens to have a certain ability.
Oh yes, or Mold Breaker. Although Mold Breaker would be revealed the second it hits the field, so.
Or you get Big Brain and you run Neutralizing Gas, Weezing, so Sand Rush, Neutralizing Gas, Mold Breaker. Oh, that doesn't work. It doesn't. Neutralizing Gas Balloon. There you go.
How does that work? How does Neutralizing Gas work with Mold Breaker? That's something in the lab. Because, okay, so Neutralizing Gas's flavor text is it negates all other abilities on the field, right?
Yeah,
Mold Breaker's ability.
Gas, you're not Levitate.
Mold Breaker's ability. Oh, that's right. It's not going to have Levitate. That's right.
Yeah, you need to. If you had two abilities, then it would be a problem. But
yeah, you're right. So that's the catch-22. You cannot run both.
I guess if it was Sand Force Drill, then it's less Sand Forcey.
I also think Bolton does some kind of nasty things to this team.
Skarm, Volk, Gyapdos, Firefang, Bulu, Play Rough, Psychic. Bolton could do some things. And probably Apple is Apple's kind of thick against a lot of the squad.
Yeah, it really only doesn't want to see Zapdos. Because I know it eats any flying move from Skarm. Skarm's attack stats are pitiful.
Skarm doesn't count as an attacker, in my opinion. This is going to be an entertaining match to watch.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it to Jack, though.
I'll give it to Mike because I'll let Mike choose himself. And also,
okay, that's fair. That's very generous.
I'm intrigued that it's going to be hard for him to run Sand, and I want to see how Jack will handle without Sand.
Yeah, something else we might see from Mike. He might break out the Sand Force Doug trio.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Jack's squad Doug trio looks pretty good. You've got the faster EQ for Drill and for T-Tar and Jirachi, of course, and Bolton, of course. Like you've got a Sand Force boosted Stone Edge for Mantine. I guess that Azelf is a meme, but Azelf isn't huge.
What does Volcanion do? Can Volcanion do anything to Mantine at all? I could theory craft this stuff forever.
I don't believe it gets Thunderbolt.
I don't believe it does either. Does it? Did I need to?
Indeed.
Mike, you better win if you want to win.
Next match, James against Sheej. So Sheej had actually both these guys had pretty phenomenal performances week one. Sheej with a +4, James with a +5.
Oh yeah.
Sheej's team is obviously more well-rounded. James's team is incredibly top-heavy, though. And
it is the 800 club.
And honestly, his low tiers aren't even bad. Like, Centiskorch can do some stuff. It gets Flash Fire and Knock. Komala can't be statused and gets Spin, U-Turn, Wish.
He gets Gallade as a bottom tier. That's not bad. But Sheej is flexible, and he has some very versatile mons in, Polt itself, Incineroar, Electros, Crobat. There are some threats. How?
Indeed.
How does he get through?
Yeah, I'm like looking at him on Sheej and then looking up at like the combination of Zapdos, Mega Venusaur. I'm like, how is that gonna work?
How does he kill Zapdos?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing. I think he needs
gonna be a toughie.
He needs like Z Dragon on Dragapult. I think that's about it.
Yeah, he's gonna need some big moves on something. I feel because like
Relicanth is just so pitifully slow.
Relicanth. I mean, hey, he brought Relicanth this week, didn't he?
He did. Espeon is the only Trick Room setter I see, so
Hey, I don't even think he brought Trick Room Relicanth last time. They just kind of brought it. Honestly, Relicanth might.
Although
Honestly,
Relicanth,
Relicanth do some shit.
yes, I agree with that in spirit. The counterpoint, Kira, Mega Venus, or Zapdos.
Oh yeah, it does outspeed. It does outspeed.
Yeah, Relicanth is outsped by all those Mons who get a stab super effective move against it.
Yeah. I think, does G Corsola get Trick Room?
I don't think so.
It might.
I don't think so because I don't think Cursola even gets Trick Room. I could be wrong, but I just don't think so.
I know Cursola is occasionally used as a Trick Room abuser, but I don't recall if it gets it.
I am going to give this one to James, though, because I don't see how he breaks either Mega Venusaur or Zapdos, let alone both of them.
I'm going to give it to Sheej.
All right.
I want to give
Look
it to
at all this
Sheej.
drama you're building up. We've diverted on, or we've disagreed on more than we've agreed. That's for good content.
I like the chaos.
Next up, Tristan Jim, Weather v Weather. I think
one of the first Conference Cup match.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're starting the Conference Cup matches. I kind of think Jim is gonna bring both weather and terrain this match.
I mean, hey, Whimsicott does mess things up.
Whimsicott can just hit Tailwind too.
Tailwind, but there's Mega Sizer. But there's Swampert, which doesn't give a shit what weather's up there. It'll still hit hard.
True. Although, I don't know how good Scizor even is this match, because if you have a Terrain Hawlucha, it's going to be a +1 defense. Swampert resists, Pelipper resists, Pincurchin resists. Whimsicott still has the higher priority because it's faster. I mean, Lycanroc has Accelerock, which is faster. It would really just be for, like, Armaldo.
I have a dilemma because I want Tristan to win for Conference Cup, but I don't want him to win because he's in my division. And I also don't want him to win because he's already won the championship twice.
My rule of thumb is that I always pick my division homies. But you do you.
Ooh.
That being said, god damn it, this is actually hard. Tristan's team looks so scary.
Tristan's team is good, but hold on,
I think Tristan's gonna take it. Sorry, Jim. I think Tristan's taking it.
I don't know. I feel like I want to pick my division homie, but I really do think that Rain might beat Sand.
Yeah,
let me see.
What's gonna happen is it's gonna come down to like the 6 that come to the match, right? Because 11 versus 11 is a huge toss-up. But, I mean, they're both incredibly creative and strong battlers.
They're both incredibly creative. Let me go with Jim. No,
right.
I can't choose Jim. I have a rival with him. Choose Tristan.
All right, you choose
Tristan. You gotta go
down, Jim. Also, notably in this match, Dog v Dog. Lycanroc Dusk versus Lycanroc whatever.
Also, yeah, 2 of the dogs are in my division.
Oh, that's right, because
doesn't
Thomas have Lycanroc Midnight?
Yes, he does. All the dogs are around me.
Next up, Conference Cup match. It's your match, Leibo, against LCD.
Oh, God. I am not looking forward to this. I have a couple of ideas.
I mean, good news for you.
There's some tough stuff.
Good news for you, Gliscor is pretty good against Kartana.
Gliscor is pretty good against Kartana. I don't want to reveal too much about anything I have to say.
Oh, fair enough.
That's an interesting matchup, and there are threats on both sides. Slow King on Slow Bro action.
Yeah, that's
that'll
right.
be nice.
Very thematic matches this week.
Very thematic, yeah. Dog versus dog, that versus that. Any other bottom tier fairy versus bottom tier fairy? I don't know. We're trying to grasp at straws there.
Yeah.
I have some ideas in mind. I have a couple ideas that still need to be finished cooking.
Fair.
I will personally.
You gotta pick yourself.
I gotta
right?
choose myself.
All right.
But I do think LCD has a strong chance of winning.
I'll be contrarian. I'll pick LCD. It'll be a very interesting match though, for sure.
Yeah, I got some ideas, but he is a strong team. Cartana, Nidoqueen, Torn, those are big threats. Scary threats. Latios.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a couple big hitters though. You've got Greninja on your team.
I'm most worried about Clefairy and Thwackey, of course.
Oh yeah, the NFEs.
The NFEs. You know, it's the Eviolites, you know?
Watch this be the week he brings out more Pico.
Morpeko is kind of sick.
You know, I think Morpeko.
I will always praise Morpeko despite never drafting it and drafting Manectric instead.
I say it's slept on as it got drafted.
It is. Hey, it wasn't drafted last year. It's slept on.
All right, next match. We're going with Dylan and Thomas. All right. Ah, man, Dracovish against Thomas's like disgusting OU core.
Okay. He does have a Dracovish answer. It is Tangela, and that does work. It does work. So it's not an instant game over there. He still needs to kill it, though.
Yeah, Thomas also has very good speed tiers against Dracovish, so like any Scarfer from Thomas is going to be faster than Vish, so that's looking really good for Thomas.
Yeah. Thomas is I love Thomas's team. I think Hydreigon, Gengar, Sylveon, Steel. I think that's such a solid squad. His low tiers are really threatening too.
Yeah, not to mention
Basculin, Tank, Claydol.
Not to mention, I don't think Dracovish is like one-shotting Reggie Steel.
Yeah, you're right.
Might even need two vicious runs.
Yeah, you need to be like super banned.
Yeah.
I mean, even then, it's gonna be.
Although honestly, Thomas does not have a water absorber, so like ban Strongjaw Rend might do him nasty. It's like just imagine you're like up against Blaziken or something, and he switches in to Gengar, right? Gengar is not eating that. Why? I don't know why I'd say he's switching to Gengar. Like he switches into Register or Tangela.
Thomas needs to play carefully around Dylan's.
Yeah, and that's always
attackers.
Always going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Gengar faster than Mega Guard. That's good. Although Guard faster than Hydreigon.
Oh yeah, 3 points faster.
What is the Gengar answer from Dylan?
I gotta choose Thomas because Division Squad. Also, I think Thomas can do it. I think Thomas can. Dylan's power is mostly in his Dracovish and Guard. And I think Thomas has enough diversity in his power where he might be able to pull some shit out.
Okay. That's fair enough. I mean, hey, you can't really sleep on, like, Shaman or Magnezone.
Oh, Shaman can do some stuff. I have no doubt.
Dude, Seed Flare is busted.
Seed Flare is busted. Shaman is underrated. I will acknowledge that.
Yeah, actually, Mega Pinsir probably eats a Fish's Rend if you quick attack it. If you quick attack Fish. Although I don't know if he's two tapping him. I think Dylan's gonna take it.
That's fair.
Next up, Rob against Hunter. I like how Mega Altaria is practically blending in with the clouds.
Yeah. A lot of the team cards this year have been fantastic. I like when the Pokemon look like they fit in the team card.
Mm-hmm. I like on Murphy's card specifically, the Spiritomb taking up the entire hexagon or octagon.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the face fits.
Okay, so Quagsire is obviously a great answer to Urshifu, because you're just gonna eat that. Not
Yeah,
it's not water
Quagsire
shuriken.
is
It's
an easy counter.
his version of water shuriken. I forget what it's called. The one that always crits.
Surging Strikes.
Yeah, surging strikes.
Ooh. He has Nihilego, but Hunter has Chansey. But Nihilego gets some tech.
It gets Psy
Yeah.
Shock. It also
gets
gets
Psy
Head
Shock?
Smash.
And it gets knocked off.
Ooh, okay.
But who knows? Also, Rob has the alternative bulky normal type in P2. Very similar mons. Both get teleport, recovery.
Oh, Chansey gets natural cure. I just remembered. Oh.
Yes, it does.
This is tough because I see a lot on Rob's squad that Hunter wants nothing to do with, like namely Mega Altaria. I sincerely don't see what Hunter does about it if it's
Does
already set up.
Hunter have a knockoff?
Houndoom?
I don't think
Chansey
Houndoom gets knockoff.
Does Chansey get knock?
I don't know if Chansey gets knock. I genuinely
Copper
don't know.
Roger
This
get
is something I looked up once. I don't think Chansey does.
Yeah, well, okay, good, because Chansey doesn't need any more utility moves.
Yeah, that might be difficult, unless there are some things that get trick around here.
Yep.
But otherwise, you may have a difficult time with P2. I might need to break from my tradition so far. I might choose Rob.
I'm kind of thinking
Sorry,
Rob
Hunter.
as well. Because
I'm sorry, Hunter. I know you're in my squad. I hope you can prove me wrong.
I think the big
Listen,
thing...
the Metagross matchup is great for you. You know, Houndoom is... You're going to beat that.
I think the big thing in this matchup is obviously Urshifu. As far as switch-ins, like, okay, let's say we end up in the situation in the game where it's like P2 against Urshifu. They're just in clean against each other. P2 has to just kind of get out of there, right? And what switches into like the CC?
You're going to need Bulky Quag.
Yeah,
That's
it's really just Bulky Quag and that's it. So
I mean,
if there's
hey,
any chip on him...
Mega Alt can take the hit. If it's
true.
It's Mega, it's Fairy, so it's Fairy Dragon, so it's gonna resist the water and the fighting.
That's true. Urshifu does get Poison Jab though, so again, it's the chip issue where if like it's already kind of midway or late in the game, Urshifu's got that cleanup ability, even if you're switching into a resisted hit.
Oh, it does get Poison Jab. I didn't know that.
It
Because I know it gets
so much coverage.
the elementals. Like it even gets Fire Punch, which is interesting for the Fire Water. I mean the Fight Water. It gets Fire Punch, which is kind of tech.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm going to concur with you and also say Rob. But it's not a done deal yet.
Given.
They still got a battle.
Yeah. I just think that... yeah. I think I like Rob's team here more.
Rotom v Rotom, another pretty...
Rotom on Rotom
interesting
action.
match.
Perfect for Rotom only fans.
Dude, he is a fan.
I know, I know.
Took me a second to get the joke.
I love that team from whoever did that. Shout out to whoever did Rotom only fans.
Rotom only fans. Well, that's all that's on the docket for us today. Like I already mentioned, we're not doing King of the Kill because we don't have the data yet. Gonna have to harass a certain commish about this. That only leaves one more thing left to discuss. And it is a question I must pose to my stand-in co-host, Leibo.
Oh, what is that question, Drac?
Leibo, my man. Is this week number 2 the most important week of the season?
I mean, listen, a lot of flexibility can happen in these standings right now. There's some people have got real high scores. Some people, they're 0-1. This could be a make it and break it for morale. I think this might be the most important week of the season.
You heard it here first, folks. The most important week of the season. It's decided. No other weeks matter. Most important week of the season.
No slackers. I want to see your A game, everyone.
And with that, that will conclude this week's Inside the PFL. I have been your host, Drac, joined by the standing co-host, Leibo. Thank you all for watching. Good night.
Thank you.